Are you still? Okay. 3, 2, 1. Yo, Smatmcuks, I'm Laaqwmays, and I thanks for the Kluks new. We skeleton dominu asti stam. Hello, my friends. Hello, my darlings. Hello, my little gookskis of the Bellacoola Valley. I am going to tell you something. My name is Jarrell Nelson, so open up your dangstas, turn your hearing aids up, get ready to listen to some things, and we'll figure out if they're true or not, or if they're worthy of paying attention to afterwards. We have been talking about a great number, many of things, so let's get right into it. This is the present context of the word Kusyut. That is how we view it currently. That is how it affects us within our modern day and age. So, why do we no longer have winter ceremony? We still occasionally have a feast or a potlatch, or, occasionally is probably the wrong word to use there. We still do have these things in our lives, but they're not as prevalent. They no longer take up as much space. It is also something that I am not always 100% sure on, but that is, needless to say, I'm going to explain a little bit anyways. I think there's a couple different reasons why we no longer participate in winter dance ceremony. The main one is we are still recovering from the after effects of residential school and, of course, the Indian Act and the potlatch ban and all those things that would be considered modern tragedies, or catastrophes, I should say. They are very tragic. I almost said tragedy. Yes, they are very tragic as well, but catastrophe is maybe a way that you could explain it. But yeah, so it's mainly the repercussions of residential school. We no longer have our language, meaning we can no longer make new material. We no longer had that same pride in being New Cult and speaking our language. Therefore, we couldn't celebrate in any way, shape, or form. Our numbers had been slashed in half and quarters and 1/8, so we just also don't have the infrastructure. We don't live life the same way that we did hundreds and thousands of years ago. There aren't hundreds and thousands of us as there were thousands of years ago. Definitely, we still observe a lot of the same dances, but the way that they are performed is very, very differently. And hopefully, we can definitely get back to that once we get our longhouse back, our dance house, our big house, I should say. And of course, no longer do we have months of time where we are forced to hovel within our longhouses for survival. And slowly but surely, our culture is being brought back, even to the point where we have revitalized a lot of old songs and dances. Even as short a time as 20 years ago, cedar weaving was considered a lost art within this valley. Now, cedar bands are about as common as resmuts. So I believe that one day we can go back to where potlatches and winter dances are no longer forced to be one thing, but they can be separate entities and achieve two different goals within our Stl'mstaliwa. We as a nation can achieve Stl'mstaliwa, and we will never live as the ancestors did, but we can bring the same tradition and style into a modern context and make sure that those things of the past are not left behind or forgotten. That has been present context. Thank you for listening, Laaqwmays. Salutations from Laaqwmays.